With the government shutdown and the Federal Reserve completely guessing on what's going on with the economy, how can we realistically expect market stability in the United States? Well, that's what we're going to look into, because Scott Bessent, the U.S. Treasury Secretary, said that the Treasury is ready to take immediate actions to ensure market stability. The question becomes, what type of actions is he talking about, and is any of this realistic? And that's what we're going to get into. But before we do, my name is Rick. I hope you turn daily news into daily profits. If that's something you're into, make sure you follow this page. So the U.S. Treasury on the surface may just seem like an office where they just balance the budget and they don't really have much authority to take action when it comes to market stability. But they actually have a big toolkit that they can use at their disposal to help stabilize markets. So what types of things can Scott Bessent and the Treasury do to make sure that the market is stable? The first tool that the Treasury has access to is the Exchange Stability Fund. And the way I want you to think about this is it's basically a slush fund that can be used in an emergency situation to help with currency intervention. And when I say currency interventions, what I mean is that slush fund can be used to buy and sell currencies from other countries to help influence exchange rates and keep the US dollar stronger or weaker, depending on what they're looking to do. But keep in mind, this is more so used for foreign exchange markets. It doesn't necessarily pertain to the entirety of the market. The next tool that the Treasury has at their disposal is capital injection. And this can be done in an emergency situation like what we're seeing right now with the government shutdown. And what capital injection means is that the Treasury has the ability to take money and infuse it into things like banks or financial institutions and even purchase troubled assets if need be. Now, the reason why they would do something like this is to create more certainty and stability within the market. So if a bank was in trouble of going insolvent, or the United States needed to purchase an asset that was at risk of being lost by the United States, the Treasury can help out with that, again, to create more financial stability. And the last tool I'm going to talk about is bank regulatory forbearance or relief. Now, banks have rules and regulations that they need to follow, and the reason why they need to follow this is to ensure market stability, but then also make sure that their clients are protected. So some of those rules are how much money the bank has to keep on hand, or some of the products they can offer. Things like this that ensure the bank remains healthy. Now, what the Treasury could do is they could lift some of those restrictions, and on the surface, that may seem bad, but what this does is it actually relieves pressure on the banks to make sure that if they need to hold more cash, they can. If they need to give out more cash, they can do that as well to make sure they stay afloat to get through this crisis. That also means that the Treasury will have to work with the Federal Reserve, the SEC, and other regulatory agencies to make sure that the restrictions are lifting are actually clear across the board in what banks can and cannot do. So when Scott Bessent says that the Treasury is ready to take immediate action to ensure market stability, he means it, and he has the power to do it.